today's demonstration, I want to talk to you about how to keep your knees healthy, right? How to keep your legs strong so your knees do not bother you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a full library of different exercises, different stretches that you could do at home, at the office, that will strengthen the muscles around the knee, because that's what we want to do, right? We want to strengthen the muscles around the knee, and we want to lengthen the muscles around the knee, right? So I'm going to show you this whole library, and then we're going to have a few minutes for some question and answers. But first, I want to start with the reasons. Why do our knees hurt sometimes, right? There's multiple reasons. One of the reasons is obviously trauma, right? You fell, you had a car accident, you had ski accident, whatever it is that did something to your knee that will create some knee pain that you could carry on through your life, right? That from those injuries, you could have had some arthritis, and arthritis could come from, again, injuries, or also from age, from overuse of different joints, from genetics, right? So that could create knee pain. But most of the time, it is not that. Most of the time, it's just bad mechanics, right? How we utilize our bodies. Weak muscles, like I said, tight muscles will make us have bad mechanics, and that will create the pains around the knee. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus today on the muscles around the knee that will help you with that. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the quadriceps, which is the front over here. I'm talking about the hamstrings. I'm talking about the calves, and I'm talking about the glutes. If you could strengthen and lengthen the muscles around those areas, then you will really limit your chances of having some knee pains. Even if you have knee pain right now, by reinforcing the muscles, you'll help your knees. All right. The first thing that I want to show you is, and some of those stretches and exercises we've seen before, but it's always good to kind of reiterate, to go through them again. The first one is a hamstring stretch. Let me back it up a little bit. All right. Again, like I said, hamstrings are very important. When the hamstrings are tight, that will create bad mechanics that will put stress on the hamstrings. A great stretch that you could do on your chair or on the sofa, or wherever it is the hamstring stretch. You have your leg forward. This one, I have my right leg. The left leg is bent. I'm just going to go forwards towards my toes. I'm going to hold it there for about 2 to 5 seconds, and then release. And I'm going to repeat that about 10 times, okay? Again, this one is a lengthening stretch over here, a stretch that will really open up the hamstrings. So again, it doesn't put the pressure on the knees, okay? You could do that about 5 times on one side, and then do the other side 5 times. Again, 2 to 5 second hold, release, back and forth for 5 times. Again, you don't want to go too deep where you feel the pain. Don't think that the lower I go, the better it is. No, that's not how it works with a stretch. What you want to do is you want to go as low as you can until you feel that stretch, hold it there, and then release it, okay? 2 to 5 seconds, and that will help open up the hamstrings. I'm going to show you another way to do this later on. Now, another stretch that is very, very important, especially for knee health, is the glutes. Again, the glutes get super tight, especially if you're sitting at a desk all day long. It gets tight for other reasons, but this is one of them. The piriformis stretch, okay? So what I have right now is I have the left knee on the left leg on top of my right knee, and I just want to go down this way towards the floor. I'm going to hold it for about 2 to 5 seconds, and then release. Okay, 2 to 5 seconds and release. I want you to try it with me just to see how it feels. Okay, and again, you're not going to feel it in your knee. Everything we're going to do today, you're not going to feel the knee. You're going to feel the muscles around the knee, and that's what we want to do. We want to strengthen and lengthen those muscles. 5 times per side. You want to try the other side right here. Now I got my right leg on top of my left knee, and I want to do the same thing on the other side. Now you might feel, a difference in tightness. One side might be different, it might be tighter than the other, and that's okay. That's normal. The body is not exactly symmetrical. Repeat that 5 times. So right now we worked on the piriformis, which is a deep muscle in the glute, which gets super, super tight, especially when you sit, when your job asks you to sit for long periods of time. This muscle gets super tight. When that muscle gets super tight, again, the mechanics change, and that puts more pressure on the knees, and over time, it just kind of aggravates the situation, okay? So that was the piriformis. Now, the other one is a sitting lunge. Let me show you. So what I have right here, I'm gonna have my chair on the side like this, and this is how I'm gonna sit, okay? So I got my left foot right here on the floor, and I'm gonna bring my left knee down, okay? So the whole goal of this kind of stretch is to open up some of the hip flexors, is to just kind of bring the leg back and bring it back in. So right now, my knee is not touching the floor. My knee is not touching the floor. It is kind of hovering over the floor. I just bring it back and forward. This is a great way to kind of open up all those muscles in the hips, because you want those muscles to be loose as well, so it doesn't put any pressure on the knees, okay? Repeat that about, again, 5 times, and you should feel a nice little stretch right here, okay? Another way to do this also, or not another way, just another variation of this, is just to kind of lean forward as well to open up some of the back muscles, and that also will take away some of the pressure on the knees. Lean forward. You can have your arms forward this way and back, just like that, okay? Again, this is a different exercise, but with the same positioning, okay? Repeat that about 5 times with about 2-second hold. And again, you want to do obviously the other side over here, because you don't want any muscles to be jealous. Jealousy among body parts is terrible. So right here, you really open up. Then the second kind of way is just to kind of lean forward, open it up in the same situation. Again, different groups of muscles, but the same positioning, okay? Now, what I want to show you is a straight leg lift. So right now, what I want to focus on is on the quads. Again, you want to create this shield around your knee. Those muscles strong, those hamstrings strong, calves strong. So this is a great one right here. You're gonna have your leg straight, just bring it up and down. Up, hold it there a second or so, bring it before bringing it down, just like that. I don't want to see any swinging of the leg like that, because you get momentum, and you don't want momentum. So you bring it up, hold it there a second or so, and bring it down. And if you want, even don't hit the floor, so your muscle stays kind of activated throughout the whole motion, okay? And you want to repeat that about 5 to 10 times, and do the same thing on the other side, okay? So this is a great way to really get the quadriceps to activate without putting pressure on the knee. And once it gets to the point where that muscle is strong enough with the knee, then you could go to more elaborate kind of exercises where that would probably put pressure on the knee at first. Good, just like that, hold it and back down, okay? Straight leg up, and that will really get the quadriceps, which is this one. Now, what I want to do is I want to show you an exercise that will work on the hamstring. I showed you a stretch at the beginning of the session. Now I'm going to show you a strengthening exercise. So here's one of them. So I want you to pay attention to this one, because you're not going to be able to really see the mechanics of it. You'll be able to see the motion of it. So I have my leg straight this way, okay? What you're going to do, you're going to drag the heel on the ground and back. So by dragging the heel, you're putting pressure, and you're using the friction, if you will, to really activate the hamstring. Because if you have it in here, you have no friction, you have nothing to really hit the floor. So but on the floor, you drag, bring it in and back, just like that. Bring it in and back. This is easier to do with a pair of shoes, because if you try to kind of just rub your foot on the floor, you'll hurt, right? Just like that, and you should feel the hamstring activate, okay? You want to do that 5 times on this side, and then repeat that 5 or 10 times, okay? It takes you like literally about 15 seconds to do. Bring it in, drag the foot as much as you can, bring it back, and do the same thing on this side, okay? And that will activate. I'm telling you, it really, really works. You can feel the hamstring activate, okay? So this was the drag exercise. Now, another exercise for the quadriceps, which is good, is a leg extension. So you're going to lift your leg up just like that. This is my right one. And I'm just going to bring it straight and bring it back in. So this mimics that machine that you'll see in gyms, the leg extension machine, but we're doing it with no equipment. When you do that motion, tighten up the leg, make a muscle. Imagine you just want to make a muscle, make it hard, and then release. Bring it in, make it the muscle hard, tighten it up, and release. Do that about 5 to 10 times, and then do the same thing on the other side, okay? Again, try those exercises with me. It's the only way you could really, really feel the muscle activate, okay? Now, the other one that I want to work on are the calves, right? I told you that the calves is one of the groups, the quads, the hamstring, the calves, and the glutes. So a great exercise that you could do. I mean, there's many ways to do calves, right? Standing up or against a like a a chair or a stair. So what you want to do is this: you want to bring the calves up this way, and then you want to bring the heels up. So two motions: up and then up this way. So now we're working also the front over here of the shin, or just like this, up and down. So now we're activating the calves and the front as well, right here. Heels up, bring it down, and then toes up, bring it down, back and forth. You could do that 10 times per side, meaning heels up for 10 and then toes up for 10. Okay, so that's gonna work on your calf muscles, because these are important as well. So these are some muscles or exercise and stretches rather that you could do sitting down on a chair. So what I want to do now is I want to show you another kind of series of drills that you could do standing up using a chair as well. Not, you don't have to go anywhere. So one of them is another way you could have your hamstring is a leg curl. Bring it up and down, just like that, up and down. So now you're using the weight of this part of your leg as the source of strengthening, just like that, up and down. You could repeat that about 5 times or 5 to 10 times, and then do the same thing on the other side. Okay, this chair is a little low, so I'm going to stand still like this. But if you hold the back of the chair, if you have one of those tall chairs, hold it and bring it up, and that will work the back of the legs, the hamstring. Now, like I said, I showed you a calf exercise on the floor or sitting down on the chair, but now you could do it also standing up, just like that, up, and then bring the toes up after that, up, and just like that. Nice. So now you're using the weight of your body as a source of strengthening, and you could just do this one or the one sitting down. So there's different ways you could do that. Now, the glutes, like I said, very, very important. What happens when you have weak glutes is that your whole body starts shifting. When your body starts shifting, your posture starts shifting. What happens is you start putting more pressure because the body tries to find that positioning that will make you walk at least somewhat, right? So that changes your whole gait, and that starts putting pressure on the knees. So very, very important, the glutes. So what you could do is lift the leg up and back. Keep the leg straight. You lift it back and bring it back in, just like that, up and back. Again, there's multiple ways to do this same exercise, but this is a way you could do it against a chair. This is a low chair for me, but this is what I have right here. And then up, you do that about 5 to 10 times, and do the same thing with the other leg. Now, you don't do it with bending your leg. Keep the leg straight and bring it back. You'll get a lot more glutes out of it, just like that, in and out. Okay, so that was for the glutes. Now, like I said, we want all those muscles around the knee right here to be loose. A lot of times what happens is those inner thighs muscles get super tight. So what happens when they get super tight, our knee starts caving in, almost. Like, I'm exaggerating over here, but it goes like this. What happens when you go like this, like, your weight just kind of goes straight into your knees instead of being distributed evenly on your quads and hamstrings. So you start kind of doing kind of this move instead of being this way. So you want to open up those muscles. One of my favorite ways is this one right here, the opposite side reach. I got my foot flat on the floor. I'm leaning towards my right side over here. I open up this whole side, hold it at 2 seconds, 2 to 5 seconds, and then do the same thing on the other side. This is a great stretch that you should incorporate if you're active, if you do a workout, whatever, incorporate right after the workout or just as a standalone stretch, because this really opens up the whole inner thigh. Just like that, 5 times per side, really easy. It feels great, and you really get a lot out of this one. Okay. Now, another great exercise. This one will get the quads, will get the glutes, some hamstrings, is the squat. But different ways to do the squat. You could use it with a chair. Okay. So I'm gonna imagine my chair is right here because it's too low right here. I'm holding the chair and I'm just squatting down as low as I'm comfortable. As low, if this is all I could do right now, that's fine, because those muscles will get strong to the point where you'll be able to go lower, right? So just go down as low as you can. You're holding your chair, so you don't have to worry about falling or whatever. And then you just do a squat motion, which gets a lot of different muscles in the lower body. Now, if this one is excruciating and you can do it, even if it's just a little bit, then don't do it for now, all right? I'm just saying that if it's an exercise that you could do, use your chair as something that you could hold and go down, back and forth, and that will really strengthen your muscles, okay? Now, as long as we're on a chair, what I want to do is I want to show you another kind of exercise. So this is going to be my position right now. I got my right foot forward, I got my left foot back, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lean forwards and back, just like that. Lean forward and back. Now, if your back foot goes up, that's fine. Now, if you could keep it from going up, that's good as well. So you choose whatever works for you. All you're doing is bringing forward and back. Again, that just kind of works the quads, the glutes, all those muscles around the knee, okay? Again, if something bothers you, don't do it. Just do the other stuff that strengthens the muscles. You'll get to the point where those muscles are going to be strong enough that you could do those exercises that are a little bit more advanced, okay? Now, there's one more stretch I want to show you sitting down over here on the chair. Is more of a cat-cow stretch. This is something that normally we'll do on the floor, and I could show it to you on the floor, but this is something that you could do as well sitting down on a chair, because what happens is if those muscles in your spine are weak or tight, that also is going to put pressure on the knees, okay? So this is what you do. You put your hands on your knees right here. You open it up, and then you just kind of let it out, just like that. You round the back, and then open up. And you could use those hands to push against those knees to give you that grip to get that stretch even better. Just like that. A cat-cow that will stretch those spinal muscles, which are the muscles around your spine, that when they're tight or when they're weak, what happens is, again, the mechanics change. Walk starts to be this way, the knees start giving in, the knees start going forward, and then that's how we put pressure on the knees. So that's why those muscles, even though they're not connected to the lower body, are very important. And this is a great way to really get those muscles, just like that, doing the cat-cow on a chair right here. Open and close. Again, with that 2-second hold on each one. So once you open, you hold it. 1, 2, and release. 1, 2, and back and forth, just like that. Okay? So these were some exercises that you could use a chair, either sitting down or standing up. Now, what I want to do is I want to show you some floor exercises. Obviously, these exercises are not exercises that you want to do at work, but these are exercises that you could do home, for example. Okay? So one of them is the clamshell. And you've probably seen this one over here, but maybe you might have not known that this one could help you with your knees. Clamshell is this way. You have one leg on top of the other. Your legs are bent, okay? Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my foot on top of the other, and I'm just going to open one up just like that, like a clamshell, up and back. So that's going to work on some glutes. You can even put a band, if you want, around the knees to add even more tension. And just open and close. You could do that about 10 repetitions. Again, like I said, the glutes are extremely important when it comes to that. I would say it's one of the most important muscle groups are the glutes. When they're weak, it is no doubt that you will have either back problems or knee problems or other kinds of problems. Good, just like that. And I know that because I've had some issues and it came down to my glutes. Good, just like that, up and down, and you will feel the glutes activate. Now, another great drill for the glutes are the bridges. You've seen that before. We've done this before. All you do is bring your hips off the ground by pushing down on your feet and bring it back, just like that. Up, hold it there, and back. Now, if this is too easy for you, what you could do is do it with one foot at a time on the floor, just like that. Up and back, and you hold it there for a second or so before you switch it. just like that, okay? This is a great drill that will also work on the glutes. Now, here's another great stretch. What you're gonna do is you're gonna have your feet wide from one another, okay? This is gonna open up the hips. Then, what you're gonna do is you're gonna drop them on the sides, just like that. Hold it there 2 seconds, bring it back, and do the same thing on the other side. So you should feel a good stretch through your back, through your hips. The feet are wide compared to close to one another. That will get more hips activated, just like that. Nice. And back. And it really, really gets the back muscles, like I said, the hips, and the inner thighs, outer thighs out of that one. So this is the great stretch that you should add in your routine. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you a hip flexor exercise. Okay, let me show you. So you're in this position right here. Now, 2 ways to do this. One is to put one hand down on the floor, and then just to put the other one up in the air. Hold it there, and then you could switch sides and do the same thing on the other side. Again, we're just opening up this whole region over here that could contribute to knee pain if it's super, super tight. Okay, so that's the first way to do it. Another way to do this is put both hands on the floor while you have the right foot on the floor and the left knee, and then just lean forward. Hold it there a couple of seconds and release. Lean forward, hold it a couple of seconds and release. This one will really focus on the hip flexor muscles. It is a great, great drill. And then you do that about 5 times per side, and then do the same thing on the other side. Hold it a couple of seconds, release, and do the same thing again. And you repeat that about 4 times. Those muscles get super, let me show you more. So when you sit for long periods of time, your knees are like this, right? You're sitting like this. Those muscles shorten, right? So as you go back and do your normal walks, those muscles are shortened, but your gait is a little different because those muscles are shortened. So what you want to do, you really want to open them up. And these stretches I just showed you are incredible for that. Okay, so this was the exercise for the hip flexors. Now, what I want to do is this. I want to show you a drill. What I did is I took a towel over here. I rolled it, as you can see, it's a regular beach towel. Let me show you another exercise that could help also for the knee. So you're going to lay down on the floor. You're going to put this towel right under the knee, okay? Right under the knee. So it's a little elevated. So now your knee is a little elevated. So what you're going to do now is you're going to press down your knee towards the towel. Imagine you want to smash the towel towards the floor, and you want to release. So hold it and release. So that's going to work, again, strengthening the muscles around the knee, right? You should feel a good activation of the quadriceps, and you should feel also a nice little kind of stretch, almost like a negative stretch where the knee goes down instead of bending it forward. And just feel that. Hold it there like 2 to 5 seconds, hold it and release. And then do the same thing on the other side. So the towel has to be thick enough where when you bend your, I'm gonna bring my leg up in the air. You don't put your leg up in the air, but I just want you to see how it looks like. And up, just like that. Push it down, squash that towel, and then release. Okay? And this is a great, great drill that really will get the muscles on the quads and also get a good stretch that will strengthen everything around your knee. So these were some of my favorite stretches and exercises that really focuses on the knee. Again, this is a big library. There's about 20 some different stretches, exercises. Pick and choose 1, 2, 3 a day that you want to do, and really it will strengthen the muscles around the knee, because that's what you want to do. At the end of the day, it's not magic, right? It's just strengthening and lengthening. When I say lengthening, I mean by stretching the muscles, right? But since you're doing those things at work, you don't want to hold a stretch too long, 2 to 5 seconds. Hold. If you do those after a workout, for example, if you went for a walk, if you had a workout, then you could hold them a little longer. But at work or at home, if you haven't done anything movement based, then just hold it 2 to 5 seconds, and that will help strengthen the quadriceps, the hamstring, the calves, the hips, and the glutes. Okay, so these are the things that we covered today. I'm going to have the video available. We're going to do also one of those PDF sheets that you can have for future reference. So I hope you enjoyed today's session. What I want to do, we have about 5 minutes, and I don't know if any of you have any questions about this session, about the knee, whatever it is. Please answer me whatever you want. I'm going to unmute.